Hi, welcome back. So we'll start working on the RPA challenge website. For this to work on the workflow, you have to start a new project. So I would take a new project from the process and I would name it as RPA challenge demo. And then I need to write the description. We are reading data from the Excel and pasting and writing the data in RPA challenge website. Compatibility, I will take Windows Legacy and the language is VB. So let me create this thing. So while it is working in the background, what thing we need to do is we need to click on this download Excel. So once you click on this download Excel, you can find some challenge.xlsx file has been downloaded. So you have to open this. So you will get like this: first name, last name, company name, role in company, address, email, and phone number. So our task, what will be our task? First, we have to read data from this Excel file, and then we have to write the same data in the RPA challenge website. So let's see how we can do that. Before that, if you want to read data from this Excel file, so now we have to use the best practices. So now we will not use any hard coded value. For these things, we will store this particular value in one path and we will use that path for calling. So let me see where it is currently. So currently it is in website, or you can see currently I have downloaded in the, it is in the challenge this thing. So now let me copy this address where it is, copy as path, and then we have to use the concept called assets. What we will do in assets, so first of all we will tell the path and we will use the same path from the assets. We will not use any hard coded value. So let me create the asset first and let me use something called RPA challenge file path. Then it is a text, and then it is like description is RPA Excel file path, okay, file path, and then we need to pass that path that we are telling. So remember, we are not passing the double quotes, we are just passing the file name or file path. So I have created the asset called RPA challenge file path. So first thing, I will open my browser and I will open to this hands-on projects section. First thing that we need to take is we have to take sequence. Why we are going for a sequence? Because this project is a linear process and we know it is not very difficult to work. So we will work with this sequence. Let me change the sequence name as RPA challenge website. And then we have to take something called try catch. This is the first thing that we will do while working on any websites or anything, and then we will start working on our real life code. So first thing that we want is something called get assets, and in this get assets I will find the asset name and I will pass my asset name that I have created just now, and I will store these things in an output called where Excel path. So these are the basic things that we need to do. Apart from this, we have to write something called log messages in the beginning, and we have to write like the process has started. Apart from this, use this something called annotation. Reading data from the Excel file. and writing the same in the challenge website. This is the basic thing that we can tell. Apart from this, if suppose if you have to add some catches, so for now we are adding this system.exception, and we will add this log messages. And in the log messages I would say error, and I would say what is the exception I want to know, exception dot source where it happens, then space, then plus, and then I would get plus at, and then what is the error message if I want to know, so I would use something called exception dot message. It will give me the error, why it is throwing an error. So this is the basic thing that I did, and you can see now there is no error. I am in my get assets, or now the next step is to read an Excel file. So I will use something called Excel application scope, and in this I have to pass the variable or the path file. So I will just pass the path that we have taken from the get assets, and the next step is to read data. So I would use something called read data from here, read range, and which cell I want to read this, sheet 1. So sheet 1, and I will remove this range because I don't know what will be the range in different scenarios, and I want to output this particular read range in a variable called where Excel data table. And also what I will do, I will change the scope of this variable Excel path to RPAChallenge website, so that we can use it anywhere. Now these are the basic steps that we did. Now if we have to read the data from here, so how to do that? So for this we have to use something called for each row in data table. What this will do, this will read data from the Excel file. So I would say it row, and I will pass the value here as Excel data table, which we have got just now. So these are the basic steps that we need to perform. Apart from this, what is the basic steps? So first of all, we need to open this application also, this RPAChallenge website. For that also we need an asset, so that we can store this particular URL. So let me create something called get asset, and let me pass the value here text, and this is RPAChallenge website. Create. So I have created this also. So let me use something called get asset to read this as well. So let me use something called get asset, and then take this just below this and pass the asset name RPAChallenge website, and then asset value. What will be the asset value? So I will store it as where RPAChallenge website. Fine. So what after this, what we have to do, we have to use something called open browser, because this is a browser where we have to open this RPAChallenge. So let me use something called open browser, and then pass the RPAChallenge website. And also we have to do something, which browser type we want to use. So suppose we want to use Chrome, so we will always use new session, so that new tab will be open for that. And that's the basic thing that we'll do. Apart from this, what we can do, we can use something called maximize window. What it will do, suppose if you have observed, sometimes your website open in this minimize mode, so it will open in this maximize mode. So this is the importance of this maximize window, and then you let it be like this. And now we have to use something also. What you can do, one more step that you can do, is you can use something called click activity. and you can click on this particular. So right now this is not, we have to, let me start from beginning. So let me refresh this. So for this, I use Shift F2 to pause my execution, and you can see the first page will be like this. You will be in the start. So I have to click the start. So these things are taken care. What I could have done much more meaningful was to use attach browser. And in this attach browser, I should have used these things. So let me use that only. So now I told the bot, you open browser, and this is the attached browser that where you have to work on it. Let me see attached browser. What is the selector? RPAChallenge. Okay. Highlight is this. Good. So we are getting till here. We will in the click button, we should have simulate click, then we should click this, click on this target, and then we have to make it wait for ready complete. These are the basic things that we have to take care while working on this. So now let me close these things, let me close this browser, and let's see whether we are able to run till here or not. So let me run this file. If there are any issues, we will get to know. You can see the file has started picking the website. It has opened the website. It has maximized that window, and uh, yes, it has clicked on that particular file. So we are getting some error. That is because we have, this is the incomplete file, and that's the reason. And what was the error, by the way? Could not open the specified workbook. Make sure there is no open workbook with the same name already. Okay, so we have something open, that's why this error is coming. So that is fine, acceptable. So the basic step that we have to take the asset, then open browser, click on the start has done, and then we have used Excel application scope. And now let's see how to read data from the Excel in the next video. Till then, bye bye, happy learning.